Okay, this is important information which I am referencing, and all the public who have been citizens who have for all citizens. Okay, let me start over. Important information for all citizens who have been a subject of harassment that's caused such duress, and it's malicious and deliberate, committed by persons who are tenants or other individuals in homes nearby or next door. Okay, so it's this article, and this is specific to it's not a domestic order of protection. That's domestic. Restraining order is, and in this case civil, has to do is to stop such instances of harassment, such as with a let's say next door neighbor blasting music at all times of day when their house is only 20 feet when the houses are only 20 feet apart, and blasting it at decibels that actually cause your your windows to vibrate. That's some serious decibels. Okay. And it's obviously, they couldn't stand it either. So it's obviously a malicious act, and it has to be stopped. So a civil harassment restraining order will do just that. But it does require certain elements of evidence, and it also requires the court to hold within 30 days a hearing. If it's sufficient evidence to support the necessity for a restraining order, you state what it is that you want to prevent or stop the offender from doing that is causing one so much distress, okay, and or fear. Okay, so here it begins with civil harassment restraining order against neighbor. Things to know. Okay. A civil harassment is very informative, this paragraph. Well, the article is. A civil harassment restraining order, CHRO, is a legal way. This is to protect yourself from someone who is harassing, stalking, or threatening you. When your neighbor's actions are causing you distress, filing a restraining order can be the solution. And this, by the way, is published on by an attorney, a law firm. I'm not even sure if it's in New York. I just found it, and I am decided to put it on my YouTube channel. Leverson Criminal Defense, okay? Yeah, we'll find out where he is, but right now, let's just continue. Okay, again, I'll repeat that. A civil harassment restraining order is a legal way to protect yourself from someone who is harassing, stalking, or threatening you. When your neighbor's actions are causing you distress, filing a restraining order can be the solution. Okay, so learn how to file a civil harassment restraining order against neighbor here. A civil harassment restraining order sorry about that. Okay, a civil harassment restraining order against a neighbor helps stop threats. Oh, is this repeating the same thing? Okay, it protects you when their actions cause fear or harm. To get one, you need to show proof of harassment and file it in the court. The order limits what the neighbor can do to keep you safe. This article will explain what you need to know about obtaining civil harassment restraining orders against a neighbor. By understanding the process, legal grounds required, and possible outcomes, you can take the necessary steps to protect yourself. Understanding civil harassment. Understanding civil harassment means knowing what actions count as harassment. Unlike criminal cases, civil harassment involves stopping the behavior, not punishing the person. Okay? Because this is not criminal, it's civil. Definition and legal context. Civil harassment refers to repeated behaviors like threats, stalking, or physical aggression that seriously disturb another person. It doesn't have to involve physical violence. Any conduct that causes emotional distress or fear can be considered harassment. Civil harassment restraining orders. Differ from criminal harassment because it is handled in a civil court rather than criminal court. In criminal cases, the government files charges, and if convicted, the harasser might face jail time. In civil harassment cases, the goal is to stop the behavior. Also, my goal is to have him punished and put in jail. But dealing with the police department, Syracuse Police Department, and Onondaga County District Attorney makes it implausible because they're advocating, in fact, would encourage if they're not, and definitely are encouraging, Jason Briere and his cousin, who said he works for the city, in committing their malicious criminal acts without fear of arrest because they are being protected by the very police department that would be required to arrest them. That's the Syracuse Police Department. In civil harassment cases, the goal is to stop the behavior, not to punish the harasser. When the court grants a restraining order, it limits the neighbor's ability to contact or approach you. But that's not just it. We're talking about a wide range of harassing, malicious acts that cause distress or fear. Neighbor conflicts, how it applies. Harassment from a neighbor can include things like, and check my YouTube channel, I have that, Jason Briere. You have to take, it's just so outrageous and so blatant, and there is not any person who's been charged by the Attorney General's office of over 144 thereabout dollars worth of homeowners fraud, defrauding all these homeowners since 2014, contempt of court order of Judge Hugh Gilbert, then his son, Judge Gregory Gilbert, who had commitment orders to be arrested and sentenced to a year in Janesville Penitentiary, which I don't believe ever happened. I believe that District Attorney William Fitzpatrick made certain that that did not happen, and the contempt orders were never carried out, and it was signed in contempt of the consent order and judgment of Judge Hugh Gilbert and then Judge Gregory Gilbert, and that contempt order is based on not to continue operating a home improvement business, which he was banned from operating unless he files it's called a $25,000 performance bond with the Attorney General, the New York Attorney General's office. And the reason for that is it protects any future homeowners, if he continued, and I assure you he would, of damaging their property, not completing their work, stealing their property, such as they did with Ron Kozora, the owner of this house where I am a tenant. Stole his 40-foot aluminum ladder after he damaged his roof, his gutter, his chimney, and the inside of his attic after he had, during the time he had been paid to put up the roof, and he did half and had to stop because of the extent of destruction to the property and not performing the services, which is the roofing that he was paid for, and never received the service. In fact, damaged his property. Okay, so getting back here. Signs of harassment. Signs of harassment are behaviors that make someone feel scared or uncomfortable. These can include threats, constant unwarranted contact, damaging your property. Recognizing these signs early is essential, as harassment can cause emotional stress and disrupt your daily life.
I asked what you're doing.
I'm just videotaping. So why are you coming at me?
I'm coming at you because you're walking around my property.
That's not your property.
This is my property.
Okay, so stop walking. I got a good video.
Okay, good.
See, he cleaned it up. But you, I know, have been, that's why there's no trespassing signs. We know what you did.
What? What have I done?
April 4, 2023, you set off explosives for like 7 hours. I see it. He's taken off. I hear a muffler from something. Someone dropped a bunch of nails. Someone, no, I'm not going to talk to you. Someone put a bunch of nails. You keep threatening. I think you are
I asked what
the
you're
one
doing.
that...
I asked what you're doing.
I'm just videotaping. So why are you coming at me?
I'm coming at you because you're walking around my property.
That's not your property.
This is my property.
Okay, so stop walking. I got a good video.
Okay, good.
See, he cleaned it up. But you, I know, have been, that's why there's no trespassing signs. We know what you did.
What? What have I done?
April 4, 2023, you set off explosives for like 7 hours.
I did?
Yeah, I got you on audio under
just
here.
So you know, that was my neighbor downstairs, you dumbass. Not me. I live upstairs. I didn't set off not one single firework. I was sitting right there, you stupid ass. You keep pressing the wrong people and the wrong buttons.